Ladies and gentlemen, I'm IWN, and this is your WWE AEW News live stream number 2. If you guys are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. We got a lot to go over, so follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You can add me on Snapchat. The links to all of my accounts are in the description below. We're going to go ahead and get right to it. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. So, as you all know, we're going to start with your WWE Tuesday afternoon news. We're going to start with the news on WWE apparently eyeing 5 or 6 NXT superstars for main roster call-ups. So, WWE NXT went through a big change as Vince McMahon upgraded the developmental brand to 2.0 status. That changed saw many new stars emerge, and despite the fact that they reverted to NXT once again, Grayson Waller and other 2.0 era standouts are still a primary focus on the new white and gold brand. Naturally, a few of them are on their way to the main roster, but what's the plan? Well, I got an answer. I got your answers as to what the plan is, guys. So, a report came out recently that said Triple H has Kevin Owens main roster call-up plans for Grayson Waller. Of course, you'll remember that KO debuted against John Cena as NXT champion, and he beat Cena for his US title. It was a big introduction for the prize fighter to the WWE universe. My source at Ringside News had some questions about these plans. They asked around about them. A tenured member of the creative team replied to say that this report about Waller is half truth, half clickbait. It was explained to them that Grayson Waller is one of 5 or 6 talents in NXT that are on the list to be moved up when the time is actually right. And there's something in place for him. To say WWE really sees something in him is misleading. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being one of the Quiet 6 members. I'm just throwing it out there. But the fact is that WWE sees a lot in several NXT talents. Grayson is getting some choice time on WWE programming, like appearing on the bump and getting a push. They were told that it's an easy piece of fake news to say that WWE swiftly has plans for Grayson Waller, because, of course, they do. Grayson Waller walked into NXT 2.0 as a bona fide star with previous television experience under his belt. Many forget that he was on Australian Survivor Champs. He was on Australian Survivor Champs versus Contenders. He competed on a Contenders team where he drew a lot of attention due to how outspoken he was on the show. He essentially played up his future pro wrestling character on the show, much like the Miz did. Much like the Miz did on the Real World decades ago. Grayson was eventually eliminated from the competition. He was eliminated from the competition after several weeks on the island. Also, Grayson Waller played Ric Flair on Young Rock last year, so he certainly has a bright future in WWE. With that being said, Grayson Waller isn't the only NXT superstar that WWE has plans for. It is all about waiting until the right time. It's all about waiting until the time is right, because each wrestler needs their proper opportunity, and you can't rush that sort of thing. So what is y'all's take on Grayson Waller's main roster call-up? Let me know in the live chats. All right, moving on to the next news, guys. I gotta go back here. All right, so moving on to this next news. So apparently, the WWE SmackDown viewership drew 2 million viewers with Fox returned. So I got some news on that. It says here that WWE continued their stories last week. They continued their stories last week on SmackDown, including Bray Wyatt and the Bloodline. They were pre-taped this week, or last week, actually, excuse me. So they continued the story on last week on SmackDown, and then they pre-taped last week. So it served as the go-home episode before WWE Crown Jewel. How did the viewership pan out on Fox? So, according to Spoiler TV, the November the 4th episode of WWE SmackDown drew 1.970 million viewers with a .40 and 1849 demographic. October 28th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 835,000 viewers on FS1 with a .23 to 1849 demographic. Now, October 21st episode of WWE SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.163 million viewers with a .5 and 1849 demographic. The October 14th episode of SmackDown brought in a viewership of 2.129 million viewers with a .5 and 1849 demographic. October the 7th edition of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.133 million viewers with a .5 to 1849 demographic. The September 30th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 0.076 million viewers with a .50 and 1849 demographic. September 3rd episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.385 million viewers with a .55 and 1849 demographic. September the 16th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.086 million viewers with a .45 and 18 to 49 demographic. The September the 9th episode of SmackDown brought in an overnight average of 2.217 million viewers with a .5 and 1849 demographic. The September 2nd edition of SmackDown drew an overnight average of 1.952 viewers with a .4 and the 18 to 49 demographic. Now, this was a pre-taped episode prior to WWE Clash at the Castle. So I guess we'll have to see if they can pull the reins up this week for SmackDown. What's y'all's take on WWE's progress on SmackDown? Let me know in the live chats, please. So I hope there's a lot of people watching the stream because I got more WWE Tuesday afternoon news to go over to you guys. So this next news I have is on WWE confirming a setup for Survivor Series WarGames matches. This is very important, so listen up, guys. Very, very important news. This is very serious. Ever since Triple H took charge of WWE Creative, things have simply become better for the company. This included the game-bringing WarGames matches to the main roster. WWE has now confirmed plans for the WarGames matches at Survivor Series. The company previously announced that this year's Survivor Series premium live event will feature the big man roster of WarGames, one for men and one for women. It has been confirmed that each match will feature 10 competitors, 5 on each team. This detail was revealed during a new commercial that aired during Crown Jewel. The WarGames commercial included the War Pigs single by Black Sabbath. We can only imagine that Uzi is all about this song being used for the upcoming pay-per-view. Now, the WWE Survivor Series premium live event will take place on Saturday, November the 26th from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, or whatever it is. I don't even think it right. But we'll have to wait and see whether the event will be a successful one or not. If you guys have any questions about the Survivor Series War Games pay-per-view, let me know. I'm willing to answer them the best way I can. Now, next news here. Moving on to your next WWE Tuesday afternoon news. So there's some news on Roman Reigns. I gotta have a lot to say on this one. I got a whole lot to say about this one, man. I really do. Like, seriously. I just don't get it. As soon as I find it. As soon as I find it. There it is. Okay, so apparently the WWE seemingly already had plans for Roman Reigns, but also that's not the only thing. That's not it. What I'm trying to say is WWE already knows how Roman Reigns will lose both his titles. So there's some news on Roman Reigns on that. So Roman Reigns has been on a warpath since his return to WWE back in 2020. He remains the undisputed Universal Champion even now and shows no signs of stopping anytime soon. And that background on my thumbnail is the Island of Relevancy. So if you guys like it, please let me know. Triple H might have an idea as to who will end his reign. Just like I got an idea on who will end his reign as WWE Champion. Just like I got an idea of who will end his reign as Universal Champion. The Tribal Chief defended his titles against Logan Paul in the main event of WWE Crown Jewel. While Logan Paul did his best to topple Reigns, the inevitable happened, and Reigns won the match. Of course, Logan Paul got his ass whooped and got smashed. While fans have no idea who beat Roman Reigns, it seems Triple H has already thought of someone. WrestleBolt told GiveMeSport.com that Triple H already has an idea who will end Roman Reigns' reign. It says here, and I quote, "They have an idea of who is going to beat Roman Reigns. I don't know. Suspiciously, it's Cody Rhodes. I don't know if it's The Rock. I don't know if it's Bray Wyatt, but I think there's a handful of guys that they would say, oh, all right, this makes sense for the future. But I don't think it's happening anytime soon, to be honest with you." End quote. So we'll have to see who will end up defeating Roman Reigns for his titles. Whoever it will be will certainly be on the receiving end of a push of a lifetime. Who I think the perfect person is to beat Roman Reigns to become the new WWE champion should be Cody Rhodes. Now, the person that should beat Roman Reigns to become a new Universal Champion on SmackDown should be either Gunther or Bray Wyatt. I think it should be Bray Wyatt, not because JD said it, because I think the Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt feud will boost up the ratings and the viewership. And another reason why I say Bray Wyatt is because that is going to be, boy, if they go with a Bray Wyatt Roman Reigns feud, that would be one of the greatest feuds in SmackDown history. Just think about it this way. We could get the bloodline, the entire bloodline versus all the members of the Wyatt Six. Can you imagine that? The bloodline versus all the members of the Wyatt Six in tag team matches? That'd be great. That'd be great for SmackDown tag team division, man. Not only would that storyline be great for the tag team division, but it would be great for the SmackDown singles division as well. You know, the division where WWE Universal Champion is the main title for SmackDown. And of course, the WWE Championship is the main title for Monday Night Raw. But it would do wonders for the singles men's division and the men's tag team divisions. It would boost up the ratings and the viewership. Not only that, the storyline would set the roof off the place. It would be one of the greatest storylines in SmackDown history. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I think it should be Bray Wyatt beating Roman Reigns to win the Universal Championship, to become the new Universal Champion. So, who do you think will beat Roman Reigns? Cody Rhodes and Bray Wyatt. That's what I think. Let me know who you guys think will be. Now, apparently there's some news on WWE restocking their women's division with experienced talent. That is listed in the description below. That's the next news we're going to go over with you guys. That's the next WWE Tuesday afternoon news. And then after that, we're going to go over the news on the TLC events and stuff. So, Triple H remains one of the most well-known pro wrestlers of all time. We know that. And he is now viewed as a bug figure for younger talent. The game is now the head of WWE Creative and has made quite a few changes already. The game is now the head of WWE Creative and has made quite a few changes already. In fact, the game has huge plans for the women's division as well. Since 2016, ever since 2016, WWE has given a lot of importance to the women's wrestling in general. The results speak for themselves. In the past few months, WWE has brought back female wrestlers. I can't get my shit right today for some reason. Such as Dakota Kai and Emma, among others. Probably because I need to eat something, because I'm hungry as shit. I need to eat something else. In fact, there seems to be a reason for that, and according to Fightful's paywall, the company is now focused on restocking their women's division with experienced female talent who are ready for television. It says here, and I quote, "Those that we speak to say that WWE was hoping to restock the women's division with several TV-ready, experienced women's wrestlers. Emma returned recently, and Fightful revealed that the company had an interest in bringing Tegan Nox in as well." Fightful also, this is what Fightful went on to say. This is what they went on to say. They also said Fightful reached out to Green, who claimed she hadn't been contacted for a return, and noted she has NWA, WrestleCade, and other indie bookings scheduled well into March 2023. Triple H has already made numerous improvements to the overall WWE product. Rightfully so. By the looks of it, fans can expect betterment for the women's division in the coming months. I hope that is the case, because the women's divisions look bad right now, and they need some fixing. The women's divisions need improvement. They really do. I'm not going to lie to you. Are you guys a fan of WWE's new direction? Let me know. I know I am. What about you guys? So there's news on Chelsea Green. So apparently, World Wrestling Entertainment has not contacted Chelsea Green about returning to the company. There has been a lot of speculation regarding more former WWE stars joining the company. Tegan Nox and Mia Yim are two names rumored to be returning soon. I think Mia Yim is rumored to be signing with AEW. I don't think Mia Yim is nowhere near going to WWE. Come on. Keith Lee is not leaving AEW. He loves it there. And I think it would be great to have Mia Yim in AEW rather than WWE, because her husband wrestles in AEW. Like I said last week, if the husband goes to a wrestling promotion, you know the wife's going to go to the same wrestling promotion as the husband. If the husband's going to be there, then the wife's going to be there. You know Mia Yim's going to be in AEW. Mia Yim is not going to WWE. People keep thinking that she's going to WWE. No, she's not. She's going to AEW. She's getting signed with AEW. My honest opinion. That's where she's going. Since her husband is there. And Rhea Ripley could be on her way out of WWE soon. For all I know, Rhea Ripley could be heading to AEW since her husband, Buddy Murphy, is there. You know, you never know. Not saying it's going to happen, but it could in the future. If Rhea Ripley doesn't get her push that she deserves next year, she could very well be on her way out of WWE and could very well go to AEW. But Chelsea Green was not reached out to WWE, and Chelsea Green is said to be a third name on the list, but the company has not reached out to her just yet. As previously reported, WWE was interested in Green because Triple H wants to strengthen the women's roster. Green has worked with a number of companies. After leaving WWE, at least Triple H is looking to bring back younger talent, not older talent. Thank God. That's what Vince McMahon and Bruce did. Jesus Christ. It includes Impact Wrestling. Nobody gives a shit about Impact. Just to throw it out there. NWA GCW, and Ring of Honor. Ringside News exclusively reported that WWE has their eye on several stars. Chelsea Green's name is going around as well. Triple H hasn't brought it up with the creative team. Triple H is also doing things differently than Vince McMahon did. He's doing differently than Vince McMahon did regarding keeping things, closer to the vest. Fightful reported that Green, they reported last week that Green claimed she was not contacted about returning to WWE. She claimed that she is still with Billy Corgan's NWA. Green also stated that she also has indie bookings well into March 2023, which I already went over and said with you guys. But anyways, for the time being, it does not look like she will be returning to WWE. Of course, there is always that possibility that WWE has experienced interest internally, but has yet to contact her. We'll see what happens, man. Do you guys believe she'll return? Let me know. All right. The next news we have. Hang on a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next news we have is on Solo SIKOA. It's listed in the description so you can clearly see it. Next news we have is on Solo SIKOA. I don't got long before the stream ends, before I'm done. So apparently, Solo SIKOA is determined to win the WWE main roster title. Solo SIKOA debuted in NXT last year and was booked very well according to many fans. He had some solid matches and an undefeated run for a long time as well. He is now on the main roster and already has huge goals in mind, which include winning titles. SIKOA made his main roster debut at Clash at the Castles 2022 pay-per-view, where he helped his cousin Roman Reigns win against Drew McIntyre. This resulted in Reigns retaining his titles. Afterwards, SIKOA has been regularly featured on WWE television. While speaking to Republic World, SIKOA made it clear that he is determined to win the United States or Intercontinental Championship, one of the two. Says here, and I quote, this is what he said. He said, any title that we don't have in the bloodline, which is the United States Champion and the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, one of those titles or both of them. I don't care who has it, man. I have my eyes set on those for a reason because I need to have one of my own. End quote. So that's what Solo SIKOA said. WWE will have to we'll have to wait and see. I didn't mean to say WWE. I meant to say we'll have to wait and see whether Solo SIKOA will eventually get a title run on the main roster or not. Now, the fans would love to see that happen as well. If anything, he is in a good spot with the bloodline. It's safe to say that right now up to this point. So do you guys want to see Solo SIKOA become a champion? I know I do, because he is championship material, in my honest opinion. And Solo SIKOA is more like a Samoa Joe. He's more like the next Samoa Joe and Umaga in WWE, in my honest opinion. Solo SIKOA has the attire like Umaga. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these days Solo SIKOA ends up paying tribute to Umaga. Wouldn't be surprised. Expect that, because it's going to happen. Whether these geeks in the community like it or not, it's going to happen. Next news we have, the next WWE Tuesday afternoon news we have is on WWE Royal Rumble, adding more seats after massive ticket sales. Listen to this, guys. This sounds interesting. Sounds important. Man, I'll tell you, I enjoy my music all the time, man. I really do. Now, it says here that the WWE Royal Rumble will take place it will take place basically in San Antonio on Saturday, January 28th, 2023. Tickets have some sold very well. They have sold very, 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 very incredibly well, man. Now, the company is making room for even more fans. WrestleTix reported on Patreon that the show has sold 30,157 tickets, 3,717 remaining. According to the report, the venue will have a seating capacity of 33,874. WWE has added a few more rows of seats in the last week. According to an updated WWE event schedule, Survivor Series will take place on November 6th at the TV Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. As you all know, my Survivor Series watch along will be live. I will forever be subscribed to Peacock. So every year I'll be live with pay-per-view watch-alongs and reviews going forward. So my Survivor Series review, it'll be scheduled early, probably either this week or next week. Probably more than likely next week. Now, the day one pay-per-view will take place on Saturday, January the 1st, 2023, I believe. That's what I'm believing. That's coming from my sources anyway. At the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. The WWE Royal Rumble will take place in San Antonio, Texas on January 28th, marking another huge Saturday WWE pay-per-view. WWE Elimination Chamber will take place in the Bell Century in Montreal, Quebec, Canada on February the 18th. I'm gonna have a schedule, my Elimination Chamber watch along and review scheduled as well. So it's the Royal Rumble watch along and review. And I will have my WrestleMania 39 watch along and review scheduled as well. Probably at the end of this year, maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Now, WrestleMania 39 will then go down in Sophie Stadium in Los Angeles, California on Saturday, April the 1st, and Sunday, April the 2nd. It's going to be a stat card. So we're going to have WrestleMania 39 Night 1 and 2 again, like they did last year. Hopefully both of them will deliver well. Because we all know what happened to the other WrestleMania. We all know that Bruce and Vince ruined that WrestleMania 38. That's the one I'm talking about. Obviously, WWE has a lot of interest as they approach the road to WrestleMania. A whole lot. And that's good. I haven't heard information, updates, and news like this in a long time. My social ringside news will keep you up to date if new information is released. They'll keep me up to date if new information is released as well. So I'll keep checking that ringside news this week. Now, did you guys buy your tickets yet? If you didn't, now it's the time to. Let me know in the comments below your take on this story, on that news. All right, moving on to the next news, guys. So apparently, Braun Strowman has some serious heat in WWE. Yeah, that Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is back in WWE after Triple H re-signed the former black sheep of the Wyatt family, which was one of the worst L's in WWE that Triple H has ever took. I don't know why you bring somebody like that back. WWE needs to release somebody like that, and Omos as well, for that matter. They both need to be released. No, nobody needs them. Nobody needs Strowman and Omos. Nobody gives a crap about Strowman and Omos. Trying to use less cuss words these days, man. Trying. Since his return to the WWE landscape, Strowman battled Omos, and he's already stirred up a tremendous amount of controversy along the way. Trying to use less cuss words to be professional. But my social ringside news was told by a chairman member of the WWE team that Braun Strowman is notorious for showing up late and leaving early. This is not the only issue that the monster of all monsters is having backstage. Why don't they just call him the monster among men instead of calling him the monster of all monsters? I don't know why they have to call him that. That is so pathetic. I don't even fucking care. I'm not a fan of Braun Strowman anyway, so why would I care? They were also told that some are questioning if he's serious about the run. It turns out that this questioning is due to the reasons listed above and more just regarding his ego and attitude. Now, Strowman was notorious during his last run for putting his foot in his mouth on social media. That's disgusting. His comments about indie wrestlers losing work during the pandemic caused a storm, and he was eventually a free agent, left to find what gigs he could that would meet his ridiculous demands. At the time, PW Insider reported that Strowman's manager, Nick, has 25K for a 3-hour appearance to multiple promoters that have reached out with their interest in Strowman and making appearances. Now, bookers were also required to pay for the first-class travel, food, and 2 nights of hotel accommodations, all that shit. Strowman was making $1.2 million a year with WWE during his first run. Ringside News says they were not sure how much Braun Strowman is making this time around in WWE, but he is certainly confident after declaring that his match against Omos at WWE Crown Jewel was a 5-star affair. He also took a shot at Flippy Floppy acts. That drew another firestorm of controversy, both from inside and outside the WWE locker room. Who gives a shit? We'll have to wait and see what Triple H has in store for Braun Strowman this time around. I hope he doesn't have nothing in store for Braun Strowman. I hope the guy he releases Braun Strowman from the company and Omos, bro. But staying off of social media might do him some serious favors. Just to throw that out there. What is y'all's take on Braun Strowman's second run in WWE? I imagine nobody is going to comment on that. I don't blame you if you don't. I mean, really, who even cares? Alright, the last WWE Tuesday afternoon news I have is on possible spoilers on WWE's plans for Survivor Series WarGames. Survivor Series has indeed a little twist to it this time around. While every year we get to witness the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match, Triple H decided to shake things up a bit this year by announcing that the 5 versus 5 Survivor Series match will be at WarGames match. It will be a WarGames match instead. Basically, it now looks like WWE may have given us, me, as in me and all you guys, and all the WWE fans in the community, all the IWC mercs and geeks and trolls, a spoiler into one of the participating teams. Ever since the news dropped about a WarGames match for this year's Survivor Series Premium Live event, fans have been buzzing about which 2 factions will take part, should I say, in the match. It looks like WWE may have just announced one of the factions. Recently, WWE released a promotional poster for the match featuring the Bloodline, which probably indicates that the group will be involved in the WarGames match this year. There were also a couple of changes made to the match type, which also further proves that the group may be involved. While the WarGames matches in NXT featured 2 teams of 4 superstars each, this time it will be a 5 versus 5 match, which would make the Bloodline a perfect fit. The fact that they have 5 members, including Sami Zayn. Yeah. Survivor Series WarGames isn't far away at all. In fact, the Premium Live event is set to take place on November 26th from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, which I already said that. Hence, we will all see the storyline for the WarGames match come together in the coming weeks, hopefully. They may change something, you never know. WWE's known for changing a lot of things in their company. Ringside News will keep me up to date on the news regarding Survivor Series WarGames, and if I get them, I'm going to be live with a WWE AEW News live stream. Keep you guys up to date what's going on in the world of professional wrestling. Thank you very much. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think if the Bloodline is part of a WarGames match, who would you want to face them? let me know in the live chats. I would personally appreciate it. Guys, that's going to go for your WWE Tuesday afternoon. Now we're going to go over your AEW Tuesday afternoon news. And first, we're going to start with the news on Bandito. I got some things to say about this news, and I got some things to say about Bandito and some dream opponents and dream matches I would like to see him face, and the matches I would like to see him in. In other words, what I'm trying to say is we're going to have a lot to say about some matches I would like to see him in and some dream opponents I would like to see him go against. I would like to see him face in AEW. Now, as I said, we're going to start your AEW Tuesday news on Bandito. So, apparently Bandito officially signs his AEW contract. So, Bandito is a former Ring of Honor champion, Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champion, and PWG champion. In late September, Bandito received an offer to join AEW. Remember, I gave out the news on that month. Bandito appears to have finally picked who put his wrestling future in the hands of, as he recently signed a contract with AEW. According to Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio, Bandito has signed his AEW contract following his promotional debut on Wednesday, September the 28th. Dynamite against Ring of Honor champion Chris Jericho. The 27-year-old was initially offered a contract. The outlet previously reported in early October that he had signed the deal. However, folks, he retracted after actually learning that Bandito had also gotten an offer from WWE. Anyways, he was waiting both while saying in an interview that he was leaning toward accepting the AEW offer. Bandito will be competing for PWG on Sunday in a trios match with Aramis and Commander against Latigo, Aries, and Black Taurus. Bandito has recently wrestled in Japan, Mexico, and Belgium. The term of the contract, details on his capacity to work outside AEW are still unknown. AEW is Bandito's third televised U.S.-based organization this year, following Impact Wrestling and MLW. Mask Wrestle will face Rush on Friday's AEW Rampage in the first round of the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. That is a dream match I want to see. And my God, I gotta honestly say this. Bandito looks like Rush's younger brother. He really does. He's got the same hair as Rush. I could see Bandito joining Rush, being Rush's brother in the storyline. That's how much Bandito looks like Rush in various ways. He looks like the babyface version of Rush, honestly. But let's see what great things Bandito has in store for us. Bandito has great things in store for AEW. We could see Bandito. Dream matches I want to see is versus Andrade. Bandito versus Dragon Lee. They can bring Dragon Lee to AEW and sign him to AEW. We can get Dragon Lee versus Bandito. Bandito versus Ronaldes or whatever his name is. I forgot his name. Bandito versus Andrade, Bandito versus Dragon Lee, Bandito versus Rush. I want to see another Bandito versus Rush match. Bandito versus Darby Allin, Bandito versus Jungle Boy, Bandito versus Serpentico. That's a good match. Serpentico is a high flyer to himself. I'm sure he'll recognize him. Bandito versus Fuego del Sol. Bandito versus Dante Martin. Bandito versus Matt Sydal. I think Bandito should be a heel when he faces those guys. A lot of dream matches that we like to see Bandito in. We can even see Bandito versus Juice Robinson, or Bandito versus, well, we already seen Bandito versus Chris Jericho. Bandito versus Daniel Garcia. Bandito versus Sammy Guevara. Bandito versus Daniel Bryan. Bandito versus Aleister Black. Bandito versus Buddy Murphy. Bandito versus Brody King. Bandito versus Pac. Bandito versus Ray Phoenix and Penta Jr. There's a lot of dream matches there, man. A lot of dream matching opponents he could face. Even the Bandito versus Jay Lethal, which is probably never going to happen. But what do you guys think of this story? Let me know. Next, we have some news on Billy Gunn. This is your next AEW Tuesday afternoon news. And then your last news, your last AEW Tuesday afternoon news for today will be the news on AEW Stable seemingly dragged for getting an NWO push. I don't know what that's about, but I'm going to go over that news with you guys right after this one. So apparently AEW blasted over Billy Gunn's stupid booking. WWE Hall of Famer Billy Gunn has seen a resurgence in his career as of late, and this is largely due to his partnership with the Acclaim, as Daddy ASS is now one of the most over stars in the company. Be that as it may, not everyone is a fan of how Gunn is in AEW. Yeah, even I'm gonna be honest with you. Even I'm not a fan of how. Billy Gunn is getting booked in AEW. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous, dude. It really is. Just to throw it out there. Billy Gunn has been booked like a complete jobber as of late, dude. He really has been. No shit. Billy Gunn is currently in the thick of things when it comes to the feud between the Acclaim and Swerve and Glory. Strickland in particular is not a fan of Billy Gunn. Shouldn't Billy Gunn be tired at this point? I mean, I'm just asking, just throwing it out there. As it turns out, Strickland isn't the only critic of Daddy ASS. While speaking on Keeping It 100, Conan talked about Billy Gunn's booking in AEW and simply said that Billy Gunn looks out of place with the Acclaim. He really does. He added that it feels stupid as he continued explaining his hot take. It says here, and I quote, this is what Conan said. He said, I love when the Acclaimed came out. I love when the Acclaim came out, their best, or their beat, or whatever. He says, I love when the Acclaim came out, their beat. I don't think he said it right. I don't even think Ringside News wrote his take right on here either. And then the guys, he goes on to say the guys rapping, right? Always has good lines, you know. The other guy acts like a stupid butt. I'm okay with it. I just always think, what is Billy doing with these guys? He looks so out of place. He looks like he's having fun, but he looks so out of place, dude. I thought this dragged, you know. I thought it was kind of stupid. How many times can you say scissor me and daddy scissors? This could be over quick. They're going to the well too many times. The Acclaims act, and quote, that was what all Codan said. Now, the Acclaim's act with Billy Gunn is one of the hottest in AEW today, even if some disagree with the notion. Sure, some people don't get the scissoring thing, but AEW fans seem to connect with it. Who cares? We'll have to see what's next in store for everyone involved. It doesn't feel right to me. It really doesn't. That he's a part of them. But what's y'all's take on Billy Gunn and AEW? And last but not least, the last AEW Tuesday afternoon news I have for you guys today is on AEW again. So apparently AEW stable. This news is on the AEW stable. But AEW stable dragged for getting an NWO push. AEW has been called out a few times for resembling WCW. Now it seems that one of their many factions is accused of ripping off one of WCW. Glenn Gilberti, also known by his ring name Disco Inferno, has firm belief that All Elite Wrestling is pushing an upcoming young faction, like the legendary team, NWO. Glenn was referring to the firm fronted by Stokely Holloway. The group is aided MJF, who made his much-awaited return to AEW at All Out pay-per-view on September the 4th, as he won the Casino ladder match. Freeman grabbed the chip with the help of the upstart stable, who are looking to make their presence felt in the all-elite landscape. The stable consists of W. Marcy, Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn. The firm, however, turned on MJF, attacking the devil with Marcy, delivering a chokeslam. Freeman through a table. I don't like saying the word devil. I don't know why. I just don't. Disco Inferno spoke about AEW giving a huge chunk of TV time to the firm. Mirroring the NWO's mental push back in WCW, Inferno spoke about the faction being very flat on his Keeping It 100 podcast. So this is what he said. He says, and I quote, "The faction firm is very flat and they're AEW pushing them like they're NWO," end quote. The faction led by Stokely Holloway is said to be a stable curved out of random wrestlers put together without a clear direction and over pushed before realizing their potential. I can believe that. That's very, very true. We'll have to see what is next for them, but they have Disco Inferno's attention. Do you guys think the firm would mirror NWO's success? Sound off in the live chats, please. And that's going to do it for your AEW Tuesday afternoon news, guys. If you enjoyed this WWE AEW news live stream too, please hit the thumbs up. Let's get a lot of likes here on the stream. Let's get some comments in the description below when the stream ends. Please, I really appreciate it. All right. So I'm going to go with my YouTube schedule with you guys, because I have it posted in the community page. So there will be another WWE AEW afternoon news live stream tomorrow. I'll be live for your WWE Tuesday afternoon news live stream. That'll be live tomorrow. And then I'll be live with an AEW Dark watch along because I want to see how AEW Dark is doing. And then my AEW Dynamite watch along will be live this Wednesday night. And after that, immediately after that, the review will be live. And there will be no content, no streaming content Thursday. So I won't be uploading anything or streaming anything. Friday, your WWE AEW Friday afternoon news live stream will be live. And then after that, your Friday night SmackDown and Rampage watch along will be live. Saturday, your SmackDown and Rampage review will be live, and then Sunday I'll be live with the WWE AEW Sunday night news live stream. So that is the content I'm streaming this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. And yes, I'm looking to stream Xenoverse 2 very, very soon again. Why? Because they got a Dragon Ball Superheroes DLC Pack 1 and 2 coming out this fall. It's supposed to be coming out, if it ain't already out. And I think second form sale is in the game. So I'm probably not going to be waiting for long. Won't be long before I stream Xenoverse 2. But anyways, I'm getting the hell out of here, guys. I'm going to go wash up, get ready for work, go eat, and start walking to work because I'm not waiting on my mother to come home. Take me to work. I don't want her to be taking me to work. I want to have to come back home and then take me. You know what I'm saying? So, if you have any questions, please let me know. Till then, I will see you guys on the next WWE AEW news live stream, which will be tomorrow afternoon, which will be your Tuesday WWE AEW news live stream. See you guys in the live chat for that. Peace. I'm getting out of here. Stay safe.